We were disappointed, Stugotz, because, again, another Wednesday came and went, as if every week we're surprised by when a Wednesday appears. Like they're there every week on the schedule, and every week we forget that Mad Dog is making his way into the First Take studios, and we, again, are missing one of the most exciting parts of our sports week. Today, we got to it so late that they were only talking about the very serious Deshaun Watson things, and so Mad Dog couldn't be Maximum Mad Dog.
Hard to fit Hondo into that.
Right. It really is. Kuzi,
if anyone could figure it out, it's Mad Dog.
Well, but he couldn't. It didn't seem. And so Billy doesn't have for you the weekly update from First Take set that make us so happy because they're there talking about old people sports and Mad Dog is screaming about things. And it's funny. But there were a couple of things that happened today in Mad Dog news, Stugotz. One is that Howard Stern was on Mad Dog Show, and Howard Stern clearly didn't know what First Take was, didn't know that Chris Russo was doing anything interesting on television, and you can hear Chris Russo's heart break on air. It's audio you can hear as Howard Stern is just genuinely confused. Chris Russo is saying, do you know this great thing I'm doing on First Take? And Howard Stern is totally confused, doesn't know what First Take is.
I can't imagine anyone less interested in First Take, what it is, what it's about, and if Chris Russo is doing it on a weekly basis. Like, I can't think of anyone.
You could hear Russo's heartbreak on air. He was very quiet, confused. And just I hurt for him.
If you guys could purge like one aspect of pop culture out of your life and you'd live without any knowledge of it and it wouldn't impact your life in any way whatsoever, what would it be? Because I feel like Howard Stern kind of purging out sports and First Take, like he lives a totally different life than I would live.
I'll go with the Kardashians on that.
Really?
Get him out of here.
For me, it's Kanye. I have his name muted on Twitter. He doesn't exist in my social media.
Really?
It just doesn't exist. It's great. It's tremendous. Like you can, I don't know if you know this, Dan, on Twitter you can just mute words. And so I actually sometimes I don't see our tweets about the Miami Heat because Juju will hashtag heat culture because that's like the hashtag that gets associated with it. I muted that phrase. And so I don't see anything about heat culture. And so for me, it's like not as pervasive of a conversation. It's great to just create social media lives in which you just don't encounter the things that you find annoying.
I should do the same thing for Whitlock because I don't want to see that anymore.
Right. Are you saying, though, Billy, that, ignoring sports makes for a better life, a more peaceful life?
No, I'm saying he has a very different life than you have. Right. Imagine you walking through the day and someone's like, First Take, you're like, huh, what's that?
No, I can't
Impossible.
Imagine that. Right.
Or someone asks you, like, hey, what happened last night in the Mets game? You're like, huh.
Yeah.
Who?
Woody just described the state of how it is that the world and Americans are now so divided because they are consuming their own newspapers their own way and muting all of the things that annoy them so they can have their information access only be pleasing to them.
Everyone, sometimes the lads walk in here and they tell me about what Kanye's up to, and then maybe I'll fire up an article or something like that. When I ask them if they're all right in the morning, they'll be like, oh, Kanye, thing happened. And then I go to Google News and I figure out what's going on. But
that's the answer, though? You say, are you all right? And it's like, did you hear what happened with Kanye today?
I mean, I think they went to a Kanye show recently.
Well, I wanted to ask Tony and Juju. I did not know. We did not get to Drake's dance album.
You could not listen to anyone any less than you think that Tony and Lewis recently went to a Kanye album or concert.
Was there the thing in Marlins Park? Didn't we talk about that? Did you go to that, Tony?
I didn't go to Donda. That was the release party or whatever. No, I didn't go to that. And that was also like last year, I think.
That was some water cooler chat, though, one morning.
It was like 7 months ago.
Roy, you consuming a lot of Kardashians, and that's the first thing that you're like, I need less Kardashians in my life?
I just need less Kardashians in my life. Even just like off to a side, I still manage to see a Kardashian news out there.
Okay, but the Kardashian news, what Billy is talking about there, you can maybe you can't avoid it, and it's annoying because I thought of the same thing, Roy. I thought of the Kardashians as well, but Billy's going broader there. He's saying a genre.
Hold on a second, Dan. We have a Mad Dog's A-list forming.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Stay atento.
Dan, you talked about this earlier. Top quarterback to tight end duos of all time.
Wow,
this is very exciting.
That is one really.
I feel like I want to guess.
Okay. Well, you had a list. Stugotz was forming a top 5 list of wide receiver or quarterback wide receiver combos or quarterback tight end combos. Are you ready to do that, Stugotz, before we get to Mad Dog's?
Top number 5.
Number 5 is Brady to Gronk. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? What's he gonna go? Is it gonna be like Dave Casper and Kenny Stabler?
The snake.
Is he gonna go just old school? Greasy to Warfield.
Oh, Fouts to Winslow is a good one.
No,
That's
Star
a
to
good one.
Kramer. He went Bart
We go to
Starr.
grainy black and
They're
white
going
footage.
to black and white footage.
This looks like war film.
Look at this. This is before.
This is amazing.
Before
Look at Stephen A. is so upset.
Bart Starr to Ron Kramer is better than Tom Brady to that mutant Gronkowski.
The announcers, Bart Starr goes back to pass, and he flips it out to the left side to Ron Kramer. What a pass for 7 yards. 2nd and 3.
I am so here for your old-timey broadcaster. As we go through this list, if you want to, by the end of this, give me a Star to Kramer call. Stephen A. has dropped his head into his hands. Number 3. There it is. Stabler to Casper.
Yes! Perfect. By the way, Kramer's best season was 32 catches for 537 yards.
Look how grainy this footage is.
Who's he going to go to here? What's the last of the list, Stugotz?
There's got to be a Fouts to Winslow.
It's going to be Fouts to Winslow. It's going to be 2 or 1 for sure. And what's the other one going to be?
Ooh.
It's Montana. Is Montana?
No, Montana didn't have great tight
Is
ends.
your top 5 list ready? Is your top 5 list of best combinations quarterback to receivers ready? Yes or no?
Yes.
Let's mix them up there. Number 5, Stugotz's top 5 list of best duos ever.
Jeff George to Randy Moss.
Number 4.
Brad Johnson to Randy Moss.
Number 3.
Dante Culpepper to Randy Moss.
Number 2.
Randall Cunningham to Randy Moss.
Number 1.
Tom Brady to Randy Moss.
Mad Dog says Unitas Tamaki is number 2. Unitas Tamaki, more black and white footage.
He's going to leave out Fouts?
No, it's going to be number 1. It's
It
got
has
to be
to be,
number 1.
right?
It's got to be.
How tedious must the producer assignment of fine footage of Unitas Tamaki this morning have been? Wow, it's
Foutsy!
Fouts to Winslow, number 1.
Russo also, for some reason, when he was being interviewed today, gave Stugotz what he is paid to do First Take. Did you hear this number?
Whatever it is, it's not enough for this list.
Right. No, I did not hear what.
What do you think it should be? Mad Dog
Per
Russo
episode.
revealed per episode. He has been signed for 40 shows this year.
They forget Elway to Sharp.
Right. I'm going
Didn't
to
forget
say.
it. Unitas Tamaki is better, and Star to Kramer is better, and they didn't forget anything.
No luck to Doyle, huh?
Right.
So there is one
Outside looking in.
combination on this list that played post 2000.
That's right, and it's the one that retired today. It's the one that
Who
retired
else would be
yesterday.
there? Like Gonzalez should be there, no?
There are yes.
Who is Tony Gonzalez's main
Well, how about
partner?
Mahomes to Kelsey?
I mean,
It's too recent.
Yeah, I
It's
guess you're right.
Unitas
You're right.
Tamaki.
You're
You
right.
got
I'm sorry.
Star to Kramer. What are you doing? It's got to be black and
My
white,
bad.
grainy footage. I love it as a history lesson. What should he be paid for? It is either 1 or 2 hours of work on cable television, and you go on and you talk sports and you play the hits and you yell about Havlicek. What should he be paid?
All right, I'm thinking Doggy. I'm thinking maybe $2,500 per episode. Seems about right.
That's very cheap, Stugotz.
Is it really?
$2,500 per episode, $2,500. What were you paid at ESPN for?
I think a lot of people
appearances?
people in the audience might hear that and go, "Wait, what?
Right.
$2,500 for 2 hours of television?" Like
Right.
they might hear that as that's a lot.
I got paid less. I mean, I'm a terrible negotiator.
For Around the Horn,
Stugotz paid people to be on First Take.
I did when I did PTI at the beginning. I was paid $750 an episode.
That's
Wow.
astounding to me, given how popular the show was.
Right.
Then you started doing the bang thing,
And
they
then I
bumped it up.
blew up. That's right.
Right.
No, it was bam.
That's
mean-
fine.
Chris, you work for the guy.
Would you get paid for
Seriously.
each?
Think I'm watching PTI? Or...
Bang is what you made my catchphrase.
Yeah.
Turn him into Mike
Wow,
Green.
what a stupid thing I said there. Bang instead of bam.
Idiot.
That's what a fool I am.
$2.
Billy, what should he be paid?
Who?
Mad Dog.
An episode? $2 million. An episode.
Right.
Billy was asking you how much you got paid for Around the Horn. I don't know if you want to tell people that or not.
Less than $2,500 per episode. I can tell you that much. But I eventually got on there enough where it started to add up for me, and I just wanted the opportunities, So I was happy just to be on the show. So I would imagine.
Why
Russo,
are you shaking your head, Billy?
He was just there for community service hours.
He did give an acceptance speech. I was just happy to be there.
I was thrilled. Listen, I fought like heck to get on that show for 5-6 years. And they finally let me on, and I feel like I did a good job. But they started to let me on enough, like multiple times per week, where the additional money I made from that it was good, and I was getting the experience that I wanted. Now, Russo is up there in age. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. All right, perhaps I gave a low ball answer. Maybe 5,000 per episode seems about right for Russo. 5,000.
10,000.
What?
$10,000 per episode. I can't believe that you're saying that he's overpaid. You're shocked by what 10,000.
I'm shocked they would pay anyone that much to sit in once a week.
It's $400,000 a year.
That's a lot of money, Dan, for once a week.
For the number one rated show on. What do you think they're paying Michael Irvin and Tim Tebow? Like, what do you think that they're paying? More than that.
Oh, I don't think they're paying Irvin and I think it's part of Tebow's deal with ESPN, I would guess, just his overall deal with ESPN. But
my guess is it's more than that. I think that Stugotz, it's a very popular show, and while I started at $750, by the time that I was done at PTI at the end, it was $5,000 per episode because it was a popular show. But PTI was twice as popular as First Take, and you start.
But First Take is also 4 times longer.
That's true.
And all of those commercials, it's an expensive show, but 2 hours of daily content that has 400,000 viewers or 500,000 viewers, that's something that you can pay a lot of people because that's making you a lot of advertising money.
I'm not surprised that he's being paid that much, and perhaps he should be paid more. I'm surprised they are paying, because it doesn't matter. People are going to watch the show regardless. I don't know what he's doing in terms of ratings, right? But it's kind of like an NFL game where people are going to sit in and watch. It doesn't matter who they put opposite of Stephen A. Smith.
They're going to get.
Yeah, I do. I think they're basically going to get the same ratings every single day.
But he makes Stephen A. Smith happy.
He does.
Like, look at Stephen A.'s face on Wednesdays, and Stephen A. seems to enjoy being there on Wednesdays, even when he's fighting with him. And, like, keeping Stephen A. happy for $400,000 seems like probably worth it.
One of the great achievements in the history of Stephen A.'s GOAT career of leaving ESPN, coming back to ESPN, and becoming the most powerful man at ESPN is that he has now got control over a show where he can throw $400,000 over here because he wants to be a little happier on Wednesdays. He wants to smile more and take a chance, even if it's old guy television. He wants to enjoy himself in the next incarnation of what this show is because he ran Max off because he wants to do this.
Were you surprised at all when you saw that number?
I thought that sounded about right. I thought First Take, it's 2 hours of television. So I'm telling you, at the end at PTI, I'm being paid $5,000 for 22 minutes of television. And
it's a hell of a deal. Proud of you.
I think the people listening to this, correct me if I'm wrong, Billy, when I say to you, you said $2 million as a joke, but when I say to you, First Take, one day, somebody's got to sit across from Stephen A. Smith. What should they pay J.J. Redick to do that, to fly to New York and do that? What is a number that sounds to the audience for a popular television show that would make that the right number, that they wouldn't be appalled? Because you guys said $2,500 sounded a lot to you, and television's expensive.
I was merely saying to the audience, right? Because the audience probably doesn't know what the people on their television make, and most people think that that's just 2 hours of work. And if you're basically telling people who are working normal jobs to get paid $1,250 an hour, they go, holy shit, that is an unbelievable amount of money. But relative to like what Stephen A. makes, I heard it as low. We had an off-air conversation, and it was like, that's probably a pretty decent chunk of change for Mad Dog Russo to do 2 hours of television. But yeah, I think to most people listening to this, if they heard that Chris Mad Dog Russo makes $5,000 an hour to do Unitas to whoever the hell that was,
well, because he's going to be doing it for free anyway. Wherever he is, he's doing that same thing.
He could be doing the guy selling dirty water hot dogs on the corner.
Found $400,000 in his couch cushion,
and that's the other thing. He would do this for free.
Yeah,
he would.
Steve Martin was a prop comic.
I don't think Billy said that. Could be wrong.
He did.
He said Russo would do this for free.
He did.
Steve Martin is a prop comic.
You had the closer to the segment, which was just repeating what Billy said because you weren't listening anymore because you were just so delighted to be talking about money and Mad Dog.
I'm a little upset about it.
I'm tired, says Stugotz, after working the rough 3-hour day.
Take a day off tomorrow. Woody, I told you, right?